I want to change that word options with value. Like if he has self value. Like some people, for example, we had went to Angie Martinez podcast, right? And Rich Paul was the guest, right? And he turned down, I believe, a $7 million deal
Mhm.
for Bledsoe, right?
Mhm.
And at that time, it was a lot, and people questioned why would he do that? And he said, the thing is, I turned it down because it's a lot of money if you look at it from the numeric standpoint, but if you look at it from the value standpoint, it's not a lot of money because he's worth way more, right? Eventually, he got what his value was.
Mhm.
So you could have undersold yourself, or you could hold out until you get your true value. So I don't think it's an option thing. There's some men who got a lot of options but are worthless. You know what I'm saying? There's some men that got no options, but they hold themselves to the same standpoint as the person, with all the options, and they end up getting the right person. I got a friend, y'all probably seen him, and everybody always asks me, even himself, like, when we go out and we travel and everything, they be like, how does he get girls? Like, he's not the flyest guy. And it's like, but he thinks he is. He operates like it. He moves like it. He walks like it. He talks like it. And if it looked like a duck, it quacked like a duck. It's a motherfucking duck. You feel me? So like, and when you know your value, then you don't necessarily need options to validate you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to hold yourself to that standard and you're going to get whatever it is that you want. It might take you longer, but you're going to get it.
So moral of the story is we need rules. Fuck what I said. We need rules.
Rico might have his own set of rules that'll work for him being successful with dating, and Aaron same. Me same. I don't think there's a general rule book that everyone has to follow.
That's true.
I think there's a blueprint to your rules. Like, I don't think that rules.
Is there a
I don't-
dating blueprint?
Yeah, there's moral rules, morality. But then we also have a lot of people who struggle with the fact that they make rules based on their traumas.
Mm.
And it's like, this rule is here because of my trauma. And if you break this rule, it triggers me. That means you're still walking unhealed. That's why you have this new rule. You know what I'm saying? So when you have somebody who has mad rules based on their traumatic situations, it's like, it makes it hard for you to even operate with that person because you're walking on eggshells the entire time. Because even if you make a mistake, right, which happens, it's like, it's the end of the world because for them, it's such a bigger situation than what it really is.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if I have like a moral rule, which is just like, hey, I like to be on time everywhere I go. Be on time with me. I want to bring you along. I'm extending, the invitation in the hand because I want you to be my plus one. Don't make me late whenever I go places. That's just a moral rule. That's a good habit rule. But if I say, don't leave dishes in the sink, right? And you leave dishes in the sink and I start spazzing because when I was a kid and I left dishes in the sink, I got my ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's some rules that are just trauma based, which I think are just not good,
Don't leave dishes in my sink.
Got in trouble, Aaron, when you was
Actually,
young?
no, I don't care. I actually don't care about dishes in the sink. I'm just being whatever. I got one.
Go ahead.
All right. Rule number 1. Quit lying.
Be truthful.
Stop fucking lying. Be honest about your intentions. Be honest about what you're doing. Be honest about what you're looking for. Because if you and the other person are not looking for the same thing, why are you wanting to push something on somebody that doesn't want what you want?
Right.
Like, why? I don't understand. Don't lie. Just stop fucking lying. Stop. That's rule number 1.
Rule number 2, be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to be somebody else. You know what I mean? You got guys that want to be Andrew Tate. You got guys that want to be a little baby. Right? You know what I'm saying? But like at the end of the day, they don't align with either or of them. Right? Like their own like spirit don't align with it.
Mhm.
So walk your own path. Women, you too. You know what I'm saying? Be yourself. You don't need to be like Meg.
I don't know. I personally believe that, I don't know. I guess I kind of live my life like this. Like, when I speak, I could literally sit here and talk to somebody all day, and they probably only learn 2 things about me,
Facts.
Time by.
like where I'm from, and like that I own a Honda
She
Civic,
probably said it 10 times.
a Honda CRV. Sorry. I like it's just crazy. Like, but some people when they talk to you, they go in. I mean, everything. Like, They mama, they daddy, like they give you their home address, like,
Social security number.
yeah, that they cheat on their taxes. Like, I mean, just where they work. Like, why'd you tell somebody where you work, where you just met them? Like, I don't get it, you know? So I'm just, so yeah.
On
Yeah.
a need to
I
know.
wouldn't even think about that too hard. I'm not trying to be secretive, but I don't really think that one sitting means like tell you my whole life story. I mean, if this is a good thing and we're going to be continuing to see each other, we have a lot of time to get to know one another. So I feel like maybe it's, I don't want to say weird to like overindulge about yourself. Like, because I mean, it is you. They're going to know things eventually, depending on whether you decide to keep seeing them or not.
I think that that's something that maybe anxious people might do a lot. Like they're
Put too much
anxious
out there.
and there's verbal diarrhea. It just
Oh.
won't stop because they're so
They
anxious.
don't know what
and,
to say.
Yeah.
Is that why some people,
I thought it
some
was just
people,
insecure.
Right, like
Insecurity
ooh, it's
too.
getting
It's just
quiet.
like I don't got to prove
Well,
myself.
my daddy
to
used to beat me.
you.
I would be like, what? Why would you tell me that?
There are some people that are way too open.
No, there are people, y'all know these people, at the office place, they want to tell you everything. I just never understand that. Never understood it. I don't care that your daughter has a drug problem.
Whoa.
Why
And
would
why
you
are
even be telling
That's what I-
anybody that?
Dude, that's what I be wondering. Why?
Because they need help.
But why they telling me? I can't help
Because
them.
they're anxious.
I
And
think
it's just
people are
like, ugh.
They're just desperate.
I don't get it.
First
like,
of all, you need to go get your daughter a lady. And actually, the whole family needs to see a lady, actually. You need to stop telling people around the office your business.
Rule number 4: stop wanting what other people want.
what was
We didn't get
three?
number-
Did you get number 3?
Yeah, mine was
Yours was
That
number,
That was number
two.
be yourself.
Yeah.
There was another one.
But can
right?
you do number 3? Because you said something really that was brilliant. You said that people need to heal themselves so
I
that
was
they're
gonna
not
say that
leading
as
with
number
their
3.
trauma.
Rule number 3, heal. Leave all your past traumas behind. Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to, well, it is not a good idea to come into a new relationship having, problems and traumas from your old relationship, still having trust issues. Well, maybe that sometimes don't really go away, but don't come with trust issues because your last person did this and that to you. This is a new relationship. Give it a fresh start. Give it a fair chance.
Agreed.
Rule number 4. I would say stop wanting what other people want. And I think that's like people see other people happy living their truth, and then they automatically deem that to be their truth or deem that to be their reality or what it should be. And they chase after something and strive for something and build towards something that most likely could be unfulfilling.
Mm.
And then they wonder why, they're at where they're at and why it's not working for them. It's really because that path that you decide to take was paved by somebody else and it was not yours.
Mm.
So, tune out the noise, figure out what it is that you truly desire and what you want to, achieve in your life and work towards that.
How do they, because we're influenced by so much. So what does that look like if you can kind of expound on that?
I think like for me, if I had to answer that in a personal aspect, I only do what really brings me absolute joy. And I think if you focus on what brings you joy, not just happiness, because happiness comes and goes. You make $1,000, you're only happy at that $1,000 for 3-4 days, some people even longer. And then if you keep the $1,000, you learn that you're not as happy as you are when you first got it. That's how you know it's happiness and not joy. I think joy is everlasting. So like if
Amen.
if I give somebody something or helping somebody do something or helping somebody become something, for me, that brings me joy,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when I can separate the two and differentiate them, then I know if I just work on what actually brings me joy, that's going to make me feel full and whole as a person later on in my life, And I think that's what we got to focus on. People be focused on other people who maybe Alan making money brings him joy. So I try to make money like Alan, but money don't make me happy. Like, so if it doesn't, does it bring me joy? So if that is the case and I work my whole life to become a millionaire and I get to the top and I'm like, oh,
You was
I'm no
following
longer
some-
happy. I'm no
I
longer.
just want to paint pictures.
Yeah, you was following somebody else's dream.
Exactly, or somebody else's desires. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And I think that's the best way to kind of filter through and sort out what is going to be for you. You know what I mean? Some dudes need their girl to cook and clean. Some dudes want to cook and clean for their girl. Right? I can't understand the second option. But but everybody has their own path. Walk on yours. You know what I'm saying?
I think so. I'll end with number 5. For number 5, I'd say be the best version of yourself. And by that, I mean, if you know you're on the dating market and you know some of the past mistakes that you've made, or some of the missteps that you've made, or some of the poor judgments that you've made in the past, make sure that you address those things so that you can feel good about yourself. You're putting out the absolute best version of yourself, such that if somebody turns you down, you be like, oh, you're bad, because I think otherwise sometimes that'll really kill some people's esteem. But if you know you putting your best foot forward, it's your absolute best product, it don't matter what nobody else has to say. It's like if I'm a dope dealer and I got the number one drug and somebody around the corner say, oh, that shit whack. I don't care.
Right.
I know this is the best product. It's kind of like the whole Joe Budden and Drake. It's like, Drake feel like he has the absolute best product, and because he's been making the best products for quite a while, he's like, Joe Budden, how dare you? Because you don't know, you've never made it. So how can you tell me that this isn't the best product? So I think going forward in dating, you just have to be the absolute best version of yourself. If you feel like you got bad skin, go see the derm. You feel like your teeth fucked up, go to an American dentist.
An American
Like
dentist.
the nationality.
That needed to be said.
An American dentist.
I mean, because the thing is that if something mess up and you over here like an American orthodontist or American, dental surgeon really ain't gonna want to fix your teeth. But anyway, if you feel like you have like social anxiety, somehow work on that so that you don't freeze up when you talk to other people, when you talk to, people of the opposite sex. Like, you just kind of have to.
We're the same.
Yeah, sorry.
Or the same,
Or just
Amanda.
people that you're interested in. Sorry, Amanda. Yeah, so just be the best version of yourself. I mean, and I do think that relates to one of the things that Rico said. Because when you're your best self, can't nobody tell you nothing.
I think a good practical guide that could go both ways is, and no pun intended, be open-minded to everything, but attached to nothing. And I think if you walk with that, ideology, whatever this person that is in front of you is presenting, you can be open-minded to it. And you're not attached to your old habits. You're not attached to the old outcomes of whatever it could be similar. And you're not attached to, the success or the failure aspect of whatever is current in front of you. So then what can happen is you allow it to actually happen naturally. I feel like when we are attached to the potential failure, we catastrophize the date or whatever could happen. Or when we're attached to the success of it, we get too anxious and too giving, and we just start to pour into something without even vetting it properly. So just stay open-minded throughout the process and attached to none of it until it presents itself to be what it actually is. I think if you do that, whether it's the first date, second date, third date, whether you're a guy or girl, then you could put yourself in the best position to win. And don't push it to the, I think.
Just let it be.
Yeah, a lot of people, you can't come to, this is just regular standard business, right? And just life. You cannot bring the same exact mindset and expect a different result. Okay? So if you are not having successful relationships, whatever it is, and you go on this date, right? And you bring that same ideology with you on this date, it wasn't working 10 times. What made you think that mindset and that character was going to work on the 11th? It's not working. So what you need to do is let it go. Unattach yourself from that old way of thinking. Tap into something else. Pick up a book. Get you some new friends. Get you a mentor, something, you feel me, to try to help add and fine tune who you are and what you believe in your mindset, because whatever you currently have is not it. It's not it. In business, they say don't get attached to if you keep on pouring money into this store and you know your store is costing you money every single year, you're going to end up dead from a stroke. Not even broke, dead. not even broke, dead. So you got to let it go.
Present yourself.
Wait, that's mine.
Was that yours?
Yeah.
I didn't feel like you gave it to anybody specifically.
No, I have. That was the fifth one. I have a recommendation for that one.
A little effort goes a long way. So if you are wanting to take somebody on a date, put in the effort, plan it fully. Look for the date place, the venue, the dinner, wherever you're going to take this person. Make sure you have enough money. Make sure everything is set out and perfect so that she doesn't have to do or he doesn't have to do any of the work. You come prepared.
Yeah, preparation is good.
Yeah.
And I think I touched on this earlier about putting your best foot forward, and you sort of mentioned this. Like, wash your ass when you go on a date. Some of y'all don't be hitting them crevices.
Imagine you have to tell them.
I was about to say, not that we had to tell y'all.
They belly button be smelling like earring backs. Like they not hitting in between the toes. Like I'm just saying, like wash your ass.
You might get your toes stuck.
And bring a condom.
Yeah, and be safe. Bring a condom. Bringing a condom means that's part of putting your best self forward.
Never mind. I'm not even gonna get into that. I'm about to
bring a condom.
And I feel like if you are like wear something comfortable. Don't be like wearing something that you got to pull down and you got to keep adjusting and you got to just
sweat.
Yeah, like if you be sweaty, wear some of them arm pads. Because you're going to be self-conscious about it the whole time.
And you're going to sweat
and
more.
There's nothing worse than being on a date with somebody who's self-conscious. Like, we see you.
What is arm pad?
Like, I'm watching you fix your jacket. I'm watching you constantly pull up your shirt like this. Like, I know you uncomfortable. And even if the clothes is comfortable, you are uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like, yo, that'd be crazy. I'd be watching.
Yeah, like, be comfortable because all that is just adding extra unnecessary stuff to, like, the date that just like there's no like why you know what I mean if you gotta go in sweats and a nice little cute shirt and some Jordans, wear that. Like you don't have to have something that's too short where you pulling it down.
Hold on, where we
time.
going?
Or too medium shirt.
Where are we going?
But yeah, but make sure you're prepared as well. So take as much time as you need. If you know you need to wash that hair you ain't wash in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
take the time to wash that hair that day.
Don't be
and make sure you make sure you picked out the outfit so you're not rushing at the last hour trying to figure out what you finna put on.
I feel like when people go on a date and it don't work, they be quick to say, "Oh, they was trash, they was lame, all of this." Right? You was trash, maybe.
Facts.
Maybe you were the reason why y'all wasn't connecting. So check in with you. Don't be quick to blame the date on why it went downhill.
Now you know anybody finna do that.
But that's why they there. You know what I'm saying?
That's you were expecting her to hold up all the conversation, but you was as quiet as a mouse. You wasn't saying nothing.
Y'all, I mean,
you wasn't giving no convo.
I don't know. Y'all know accountability is hard these days. So while I agree with you,
it's unrealistic.
I just don't know.
Definitely not unrealistic.
How many people would actually like take that advice to heart and like really implement it? That's all I'm saying.
Stop taking it so personal.
They started calling it victim shaming.
What?
Does that fall into there?
The victim shaming?
Like if we tell them that they were the reason why it didn't work.
Victimizing yourself, but
yeah,
it's not victim.
That's not victim.
I don't think it's shaming.
Just don't take it so personal. And I think that's part.
Maybe you should take it personal.
No, don't take it so personal. Oh yeah, take it personal with yourself.
Personal.
No, take it personal with yourself, but don't take it like it's
like cause sometimes some girls just talk too fucking much.
I agree.
And I'd be like, yo, you talking too much, right? Like
on the date,
like you just
they're probably nervous.
And I hate this is just me, so I'm not gonna say everybody, but I can't stand shallow conversations. Don't come. I have a short time frame for shallow conversations, and I can't fake like I care about it.
Like the weather,
weather. You can ask my perspective. That's different because it kind of gives insight on how my mind thinks and how your mind thinks. But like shallow conversation, I just cannot do it. It's just something that I just never was good at. Like that's when I start getting real quiet.
Are you like this?
How
Just
about
blinking and shit.
And I kind of think that you're low-key a little slow. Like, because there's no depth to you. At least I can't see it. So back in the day,
We all know how
women
old you
smoked
are.
like
They
this.
do too.
Men smoke like this, right?
Cigarettes?
Yeah. Like when you smoke, women smoke with the peace sign, and men always smoke like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I see like that's how it was 2000, 2002, 2003, 2000. So as a kid, I'm like, oh, you could tell if a guy smoked like this, it was a little sus. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know.
So, you know what I'm saying? A little sus.
That's so
Right?
Let
But
me-
now when I see something about it, when I watch a girl smoke a blunt like this, I just be like,
I mean,
ew.
typically
Well,
that's
If
how
she
it
smokes
is.
it like this,
Like this.
if she
If
smokes
hold
it like this,
it's a little bit more class to it.
That's
And I'd be
really
like,
how people smoke,
I would just
though.
tell her, I'd be like, I don't like the way you smoking. I don't like the fact that you smoking, but I might be able to be more tolerant. But if I watch a girl do this, I feel like she might as well just sit with her legs open. Like,
But that's how people smoke. I remember when I first.
no, that's how
started,
they smoke now.
Like, okay, well now, but I remember like back in
Excuse
high
me,
school
can
when
you
I
readjust
first
your
like started
blunt?
smoking, right? I held it like this, and my friends make fun of me. They were like, "You look like you smoking a cigarette," and I'm like, What does it matter how I hold it?" They like that's how people who smoke cigarettes hold fucking cigarettes.
so they told you to do it like
yes,
this.
they like just go like this.
Don't people
Those
do
are
it like that because
ignorant
it's a
people.
roach?
Straight hood.
No, that's when it's like when you try to
Nah,
hold it with your.
But even if it's, I mean, spliffs don't be this long, but this is how you fucking hold it.
Maybe
Why?
with the grabber.
This is no one does that. I'm sorry, Rico. No one does that.
But no, but I'm saying like because of, and again, you're 22. You know what I'm saying? So when I was on the verge of really the last of seeing how like the old and the new, like I watched the whole trend, like it was like a gradient color, like it just I could see the whole blend. But like back then, women didn't smoke like this. And I would say if you smoke like this as a woman, it looked crazy for you. So nowadays, when I see it, because that's how my mind is programmed, it's like ew. Like automatically, it's like you got a little bit too much testosterone, shorty. Like you know what I'm saying? And then you watch when the girl smoke, her shoulders start changing.
Ew,
It's like
shut
yo, I'm
up.
like yo, like you don't.
all
It's like you just watch a woman transform. I don't know.
That is not true.
But I'm not gonna lie. But I'm not gonna lie. I don't like smoking, so mine is a little biased. You feel me? My perception is a little biased, but that's just how I view it.